Hello. Hello, my friends. Just doing a little chatting in the chat. If you guys have any questions, please feel free to ask them. Please feel free to just chat with me like an old school chat room. How are you guys doing today? Just us 9 in here. Hello, Zen, and hello, Barack, the only people who have revealed themselves so far in the comments. Okay. Hello, A. Ashraf. Great question. Hello, Pro One Theologist. Okay. Update. Thanks for that. I'm going to read that. And hello, Rocky. All right, guys, let us get to hello, Music Bro. We got some great comments tonight. We got some great questions. Let's get into it. Hello, Dorian. How are you guys? How are you doing tonight? Good, bad, fantastic, absolutely terrible? Let me know. No toxic positivity here. Or at least I'll try not to do any. All right, guys. So, Zen, hopefully I answered your question already in the chat. Let me know if you need more details. All right, so now let's go to A. Ashraf. Where does female insecurity stem from and how does it manifest symptoms? Okay, A. Ashraf, that is a great question. One that, thank you so much, Barack. I'm going to get to your question right after I finish this sentence. I really appreciate your super chat. So, just to finish my sentence here, where does female insecurity stem from? This is something that women themselves do not necessarily know. But let's take one big insecurity that we all know is extremely common in females: body shame, body image insecurity. So, this comes from so many sources. I mean, it's hard to pinpoint it, and women themselves like try to figure out where exactly does it come from because it's like bombarding us. For example, when I was growing up, it was I would get like Us Weekly, the magazine, and there would be, you know, just fat shaming of perfectly healthy, beautiful celebrities who had just maybe they were like a size 6, okay? That's still like way thinner than the average woman. And the magazines would just shame them, saying they were like, just pointing out cellulite and circling in, just taking their worst photos. And so definitely the media, definitely Hollywood, definitely TV shows, for example, there's not much body diversity in any kind of movie, any kind of TV show. It's always very thin people. So women feel I'm never thin enough. Every single model is thin. So basically, multiple sources of media that women consume all uphold one body type as like the ultimate body supremacy type. And, you know, what women don't often realize is that that's Photoshop, it's, lighting. And so when you look at yourself in the mirror and, you don't realize, okay, wow, like I have cellulite or whatever. And of course, that's all airbrushed out. So it creates this false reality. So women are comparing themselves to basically like Photoshop, stuff like that. But let me know what female insecurity you were thinking of. But almost every woman can relate to body shame insecurity. Now, let me get to Barack Obama. Thank you so much for the super chat. All right, so he goes, what's the best way for a serious guy like me to shoot his shot and keep it moving? What's a good drive-by pickup line, essentially? Okay, I think a good drive-by well, first of all, like, all right, you can just say, let's say you're like literally driving in the car. You could slow down and say something like, hey, I know this is like kind of out of the blue and a little weird, but I'd be kicking myself forever if I didn't stop because there's just something about you. You can give her a specific compliment if there's something about her that you actually like. For example, you just have, I mean, if you want to go generic, you could just say, like, there's something about your energy. You could say there's something about your style that I'm just like extremely drawn to. And I'd be kicking myself if I didn't just try to ask for your number. And if she's like, oh no, I have a boyfriend, just be like, no problem at all. Of course you do. You're absolutely gorgeous. And if you even want, you can say, if you ever change your mind, here's my number. And then smile and like drive by. But see, this plays on kind of like the female gaze because it's like a guy is drawn to something mysterious and intangible about her personality as expressed through her style, as expressed through her aura or energy. It's not just like, hey, I notice you have a great ass. That's the male gaze for you. Hey, I notice you've got really big tits. That's the male gaze for you. But the female gaze is like your personality, something you're expressing just through your very essence. So this is a very good thing. And also a specific compliment about something you really notice seeing her. Girls want to be seen, not just like, hey, nice body parts. You know what I'm saying, Barack? So that's great. And then another important thing is to just kind of perhaps mention it's a bit odd, it's a bit weird, it's a bit out of the blue. Like, and also to take rejection well, to tell her, like, you had to do it for you. This isn't about, like, trying to pick up as many girls on the street. It's like, I had to do this for me because I had to meet you. This is all like crack to the female mind, okay? And also taking rejection well. And like I said, it's a good move to just give her the number anyway. Who knows? Maybe she break. You know what I'm saying? She's like, you know what? So, yeah. What do you think, Barack? Um, so Rock says, no, when I mean drive by, I mean quick and move on. Well, whether you're in a car or you're walking down the street, you can do the same thing. So hopefully that made sense to you, Barack. And Ty says, women on average are a bit on the chubby side, though. Oh, fuck me, Ty. Why are you saying this? Women in America have the same BMI as men. That means if a woman and a man are the same height, they will weigh the same. That's not good. Women should weigh less as men. Okay, well, hopefully you can find a girl who's extremely skinny and she will never gain weight. And you guys will never have problems, even though you're constantly body shaming her if she gains any weight. Good luck, Ty. No offense, Ty, because I know you're always very nice coming on here. I just really don't think this is a good attitude to have. Okay, you have your preference, but your attitude's coming off very body shamey. I'm telling you, even the thin women are going to be insecure about their weight. Even women you think are like super skinny. Okay, this is going to be disastrous, in my opinion, if you keep up this attitude. But yeah, definitely try to focus on women who are extremely low body fat because you're going to be destroying a relationship with any woman who has any bit of insecurity, which is all of them. So I'm just going to call it like I see it, Tag. Be careful. But okay. So then Dorian says, I'm weird because I want multiple women instead of a relationship. No, Dorian, you are not weird. You are the norm. That is normal. And then Nguyen says, always lovely to catch up with you, Live Leather. What's up? What's up? Hello, Nguyen. What's up? Kessel Soul says, I'm looking for a special quality in her in what I want from a relationship. And what is that, Kessel Soul? Tyg Smith says noted. Okay, very good, Tyg Smith. I watch out. That's all I'm gonna say, Tyg Smith, with that attitude, because it's not gonna go over well with women. Men will get it. My brother started some kind of like, well, I'm not gonna go there, but yeah. So, Pro One Theologist. I missed your question. Here. Hey Vic, bad news. She's told to go. Her adult sons and her just wouldn't sit down to resolve whatever their grievances were, which was still wanting their mum's boob. Oh well, I move on. So her adult sons. Pro One Theologist, will you remind me of the situation? Like, I thought it was something different. So could you just give me just a little recap? Sorry, I think I must have forgot the details exactly because what is this about their mum's boob? But please fill me in. So all right, guys. Kessel Soul says, all men deserve to be loved, although that's why we men must become alphas or better, heroes. And far from that now, although unfortunately, love the words, Victoria. Yes, I mean, I wish all men could be loved. That's why we men must become alphas, yes, or better, heroes. That'd be good. And far from that now, although unfortunately, okay. You're on your way, Kessel Soul. All women deserve to be loved. That is an attitude women will like. Nagorian says, my point is that I think for men at least, promiscuity is ingrained. I mean, promiscuity is probably ingrained for like men and women. But yeah. Great questions, guys. Apologies if I was a little too harsh on Tig. Awesome B300 says, hey Victoria, can you make content about sex advice like dominating or G-spot? Surely. Dominating, I could do it. G-spot, not my specialty, but dominating, it is my specialty. says, why do women expect men to be their entertainment director? Why do they expect men to run the show, plan the date, men to kind of like lead the date? Well, the way I would explain that, Delta 4, is simply that the female gaze is basically a submissive mating instinct, okay? And so they don't want to be in the dominant active role. They want to be passive receivers of an experience. So the reason behind that, they want strong guys capable of creating an experience because they want those strong genes. Okay? I just watched Chimp Empire on Netflix, okay? The female chimps, they want to mate with the alpha. And that's because, they want like strong genes so they can protect their tribe against like the warring factions. So that is my opinion on that. Awesome B300. What's your opinion? Oh, sorry. That wasn't your question, Awesome B300. That was Delta 4's question. Hello, Paul. How are you? How are you doing? Nice to see you. Abraham says, about 2 days ago, I asked my gym crush out, and she replied, yes, but I have to check if excuses about why she will not be available. I am not sure if I should take this as a yes, as a maybe, or as a no. So my questions are, how should I act the next time I see her? How can I turn the tables and get her to date me? Is this a lost cause already? Should I insist? Okay, this reminds me of these questions in this special group for men I'm in on Facebook that I'm not supposed to be in. And they're always asking questions like this, and I'm like very confused by the answers the men give. Okay, so let's go through it. So you asked your gym crush out, and she replied, yes, but I have to check if, and then you immediately assume it's excuses about why she will not be available. Okay, that's first of all a big assumption. She said yes, and she has to check. Okay, well, that's very, very natural, normal, understandable behavior. Yes, but I have to check my calendar. Yes, if I check it if I'm doing something on this day. That's completely within the range of normal female experience. So why do you jump to it's an excuse, it's a lie? So then you ask, I'm not sure I should take this as a yes, as a maybe, or as a no. Okay, well, just wait and see. Because I would reach out again, and if she follows up and is like, "Oh yeah, I checked. Yeah, I can do that day." I would definitely not take it as a no. That's for certain because she literally said yes. It could be a maybe because it could be she's not, moving heaven and earth to make it a yes, but it's definitely not a no. She literally said yes. If she wanted to say no, she could say like, "Oh, sorry, I'm busy. Oh, sorry, I have a boyfriend. Oh, sorry, I can't. Like, I'm taking a vow of celibacy." She could have said, "Oh, sorry, like, you're not my type." She literally said, yes, Abraham. So just, you need to not jump to some far-fetched conclusion like, oh, bro, she's just telling you that. That's like the kind of advice that these guys in this Facebook group give. Like, bro, she's not interested. I'm like, what are you guys talking about? But anyway, your next part is, so my questions are, how should I act the next time I see her? Okay, just act cool, chill, you know, you can flirt, you can talk and be like, "Oh, hey, so I was thinking we could go check out this really cool place I know Friday night. Like, were you able to see if you're free?" And she's like, and let's say she's like, "Oh, yeah, I can't Friday." And you're like, "Okay, what about Saturday?" That's normal. That's what you can do. And don't just immediately assume, "Oh, well, she said she's not free Friday, therefore it's impossible she wants to date me." What if she's just literally not free Friday? And another thing you guys don't know is that women expect the guy to actively make the plans. So she's not going to text you back often or come back to you and be like, "Wait, well, I really want to get that drink with you. So how about Saturday at 6 p.m.?" No, she's literally waiting for you to set up a plan. Set up a time, set up a place, find a nice bar or dinner or whatever you guys are going to do. So you need to make sure you are making that plan happen. It's like, you know, you're trying to interview someone for your podcast and you're the one reaching out to them. So you got to like make it happen. You know what I'm saying? That's how you need to act. So that's how you should act. And then how can I turn the tables and get her to date me? You don't need to turn the tables. She's already like interested. There's nothing like turning the tables. You're just way overreacting to this in my. Is this a lost cause already? Should I insist? What are you going to insist on? Like, Abraham, like, I really feel your insecurity perhaps has gotten the better of you. She literally said yes. But make sure that you're not making a red pill mistake that a lot of guys make, which is, oh, she didn't act like super interested in me. Well, I'm the prize and I'm going to wait to see if she reaches out to me. No, you're the man. You be a man and do the asking out. And don't take that as some kind of shameful, like, oh, I'm not good enough because, like, as my friend Philosophy Junkie says, if I was better looking, I would get that passive pussy. Meaning the girls would just be like trying to jump on my dick. Don't think like that. Just be a normal, gentleman man and be masculine. That's what women think of as masculine. You doing the asking and all that. Okay, Abraham? So, what do you think? So then, Steve Rinaldi says, are there women who want submissive guys? You know, there are, Steve. They're much more rare. I will say that. I have heard that there's a huge scarcity out there of submissive guys who really want dominant women. I have met some. They're out there. They are rare. They're in demand. It's hard to get one. So, Acme for Fun says, why do women want a traditional man relationship yet still have premarital sex? Okay, well, I don't see how the two are like mutually exclusive because you can still want, gender roles. You can still be attracted to masculinity. You can still be attracted to like male leadership qualities and want to fuck the guy. Just because like the church says you shouldn't, that's not the only reason that people are attracted to leadership qualities, gender roles, just because like Christianity says you should be. No, they're attracted to those things because these are like deep primal mating instincts for strong men and strong genes. So why do they want to have premarital sex? Because their sex drive takes over. And they feel also it's a good way of like sorting guys out, perhaps making a guy fall in love. So hopefully that answers it. Hello, Doodle6. Thank you for those nice compliments. And Nagoyan says, please provide Facebook group name. Well, I don't want to because they might kick me out. So then Zen McMillan says, do women secretly love being approached by charming masculine guys even though they often say that we should not approach them? Well, I'm not going to say they secretly love because the girls who are saying we should not approach them, they don't really like being approached. Okay? But just because some women are very vocal about how they don't like being approached does not mean every woman is not okay or does not sometimes enjoy being approached. But to say all women secretly love it, that's going way too far. It's not true. However, do some women enjoy it? At times they enjoy it. At times they don't enjoy it. And might some, hypersexual freak absolutely love it? Sure. But are those rare? Yes. So does that make sense then? So then Dorian says, when I try to be dominant towards women, I give off the creepy Chad vibes. Do you have any tips to seem cooler? Well, creepy Chad, that actually sounds like a good thing. So give me an example of like what you do, because a creepy Chad could be quite good. So Nagoyan says, hey Steve, I knew a girl who really wasn't bluffing or teasing when she said she was gonna leave when I tried not to obey to assert dominance. That's Sounds like some powerful advice there, yeah. So, Music in Space says, Red Pill preaches women will cancel her plans to be with you given high enough interest. And I'm not saying that's not true, Music in Space. It could be true. However, in a situation like this, which I think you're referring to, where you ask a girl out for the first time, she doesn't know you yet, bro. So she's not gonna like cancel her plans to be with you necessarily. I mean, let's say she's had sex with you and it was so good, then she might cancel her plans to be with you. But to just assume that from the get go, when the girl barely even knows you and she's not attached, she doesn't have any reason to choose you over other guys necessarily. To just assume that women are going to move heaven and earth to be with you or just like get the hell out, that's just crazy. I'm sorry. However, I do know situations where this could happen, so I'm not saying it's completely wrong. We cannot just broadly apply this to every single situation. So, Jean-Francois says, "What do mothers tell their daughters about men? Are they told to be careful with us?" So, different mothers tell different things to their daughters about men, but like one common thing a lot of mothers will tell their daughters is that like you got to be strong and independent. You kind of like gotta not need no man. Another thing some mothers might tell their daughters is like, oh, men only want one thing. They just want sex. I feel like those are like two of the most common things you hear about mothers telling their daughters. But yeah, it really depends. Like my mother didn't tell me anything bad about men. My dad told me a couple things about guys, but I couldn't really accept them till later in life. Mohit says, stay cuck, stay happy. Okay, Mohit. Dr. Street says, Hi, I am Ian. I am an Asian boy with beautiful features considered handsome in Asia. But here in the West, I see boys considered unattractive in Asia with Western women. How do I attract Western women? Well, Dr. Street, I'm surprised to hear that because I feel like with these K-pop bands and stuff, you guys are like just skyrocketing to the top of the hierarchy. Like, it seems like just women are obsessed with this look. But you said here in the West, I see boys considered unattractive in Asia with Western women. Okay, so how do I attract Western women? Well, I think the same stuff is going to apply. Like, you're still going to have to be a little bit, alpha, and it's not going to be too different, like game wise. But I don't think your looks are the problem, especially if you have beautiful features considered handsome in Asia. Nguyen says, creepy Chad could be good. I never dared to consider that. Indeed, creepy Chad. Creepy can be good. That's what you guys need to understand. Creepy can be good. I'm not saying every version of creepy is good, but there's some versions of creepy that are kind of good. Very good if you're into that kind of thing. So, my thoughts on says, why do women look down when I walk past them and never maintain eye contact? This is such a wonderful question, which so many guys on my channel have had, which I find so fascinating because it's so obvious to women and so not apparent to men. So I find it really fascinating. Okay, why do women look down when I pass them and never maintain eye contact? They're scared. Women are scared of men. Women are scared of being looked at in a sexually objectifying way by men. Women are just intimidated by men in general. And they feel like self-conscious because it's like, you know, guys are looking at them and they see that look of like hunger in their eyes. They see that look in your eyes, which perhaps you don't even notice, of like an attractive woman. It's a lot. It's intense. And so a lot of times it's better just not even look because it's overwhelming. It's like sex coming at you. Sex, 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 sex. I want you. I want to fuck you. It's intense. So, a lot of times women just don't want to deal with that. There's a lot of like fear, shame, and different emotions that come with that. But it's interesting that like men don't know that and they take it like as an insult because to them it would probably seem like a huge compliment if some woman was like looking at them with like, I want to fuck you eyes. But to women, it's like they're drowning in that. It's like overloaded. It's like nonstop predators. And I'm not saying men are predators, but I'm saying it's a predatory look. It's like, I don't want you for any other reason except your pussy. Do you know what I'm saying? Your breasts. It's weird. So it can be a lot. So often, like, just on the street, they just prefer to like avoid eye contact. They don't want to egg the guy on. That's another thing. Like, I remember one time, I was on a hike and I had just read this like dating book. So it was talking about how like you should smile at guys to flirt with them. Anyway, I smiled at this guy. He made a beeline, turned around, and started following me into the woods. When I realized what I had done and that he had followed me into like this dark forest, I kind of got like really scared because I'm like, oh God, that worked way too well. Okay. And now I'm like alone, isolated in like a forest with this guy. I know who he is, I know what he wants. But he just thought, like, oh, wow, like a friendly woman. And he wanted to like ask me out. But it's a lot scarier for women. There's fear there. There's fear of what this guy could do. So that's why my thoughts on that's what guys don't know because they don't grow up with like a fear of men like women do. So, yeah. Great question, though. I love that question. It's so fascinating to me. So, hello, hello, Shazad. My thoughts on another great question that guys ask quite frequently. What is your opinion on approaching girls at the gym? My opinion is you should do it. My thoughts on please don't let anyone's opinion stop you, except when girls say you are making me feel threatened or certain areas make them feel threatened. Like I was saying, a dark parking garage or a dark alleyway at night. These are places you should not approach girls. However, a public, brightly lit gym, go for it. Just please take rejection well and back off if she's not interested or has a boyfriend or for whatever reason. Dickie Moses, help Victoria. Do you do private sessions? If so, how do we get in touch? I do. Just email me my nonlinearlife@gmail.com. Paul says, you never know what someone just went through before you decide to ask them out. Don't instantly believe she dislikes you. You can't know what's going on with her if you just met or saw her for the first time. Great point. Great point, Paul. Shazad says, so I met this new girl and we talked and felt the vibe. I mean, I did, and I was not that simp at all. And today she posted something and I asked about it and then she blocked me. Lol, can you explain? So you met a new girl, you had a good talk, and then she posted something and you asked about it and then she blocked me. It depends, like, if you said something controversial and that's what turned her off, or if she was just, like, not feeling the conversation to begin with. Did you say anything controversial when you asked about what she posted? Let me know. Nate says, gotta have that big D energy. You do, Nate. Son Abraham says, that was an amazing response, direct, and just the kind of answer I was looking for. You're right. That kind of mentality is something that confuses me a lot. Okay, awesome, Abraham. The problem I have in terms of new relationships is that I either take time to move forward and I stay in the friend zone, or I move too fast and things get awkward. Still, I think I much prefer to fast forward, and making my intentions clear from the start is more in line with my personality. I've been reading Models by Mark Manson, and I've learned that asking her out is a way to be honest with her and with you. And I'm also learning to polarize women: receptive, non receptive, neutral. Awesome, Abraham. Very good. I haven't read Models by Mark Manson. I've been kind of wanting to read that, but sounds very good. Sounds good. I'm glad you like the advice, and I agree. You don't want to move too fast, but I mean that's different situations. You don't want to move too fast. Like I'm talking about, like on text. Let's say you don't want to start talking about sex right away, right off the jump. However, do you want to like ask her out right away in person? Yeah, you do. Do you want to get her number right away? Yeah, you do. Stuff like that. Um, so then Josue says, I'm 5'5" and always had girlfriends, married now with a beautiful Puerto Rican lil, and I own my own business, so no issues. Many men just don't have confidence. That's awesome. That's awesome. 100%. There are guys like you who have the confidence, and there are guys who are 5'5" and just that like crushes on it, seems like, but that's fantastic. And I'm glad you shared that. Steve Rinaldi says, do you have any advice on how autistic guys can attract women? Main things autistic guys struggle with are social skills and physical touch. Is it better to be honest, Steve? I don't really know. Um, I have watched Love on the Spectrum, and I don't know. I guess it depends, like where on the spectrum you are, how high functioning you are, and stuff. Um, but yeah, I don't really have any advice, unfortunately. I just don't know enough. Great question, though, Steve. And if anyone else has any other thoughts for him, please comment below in the chat. So then Doodlestick says, sometimes when I walk out in public, women make eye contact with me and get nervous or observe me out of the side of their eye. One even stared at me as I got out of the car. What does this mean? Another very fascinating question I get from men a lot. What does this mean? You're reading way too much into this, Doodlesticks. I'm sorry, because I know like it would just be fantastic if it turned out that what it meant was they want to fuck you. Or they see you as a 10, they never saw someone so good looking in their life and they're like getting wet. Unfortunately, people do make eye contact with other people in public sometimes. And like I said, many women are afraid of men, so the getting nervous thing is not like some kind of bizarre reaction. And observe me out of the side of their eye. I mean, people observe people out of the side of their eye. I mean, it's rude to stare. So this is all in the range of normal. One even stared at me as I got out of the car. I mean, I'm sorry, Doodle6, but this is just normal. This is normal. Okay, if you sent me some video and it was like a very bizarre stare, I might reevaluate. But this is just normal humans looking at other humans shit. You know what I mean? So many guys have this overperception bias, which is where they just have this bias that women are attracted to them because evolutionarily speaking, it's better to assume that women are attracted to you than assume they're not attracted to you because it will cause you to have more behaviors probably that, you know, increase the likelihood that you will actually have sex rather than if you're just saying, oh, I suck, no one likes me. You know what I'm saying? So it's better for men to overperceive women's attraction to them. However, it's not accurate, but it could help you out in life. But this is just a question that so many guys have. Oh, a woman is looking at me. Yeah, women look at men sometimes. It's not like I was saying every single woman like avoids eye contact and that means you're ugly. No, it doesn't. And sometimes a girl looks at you and it doesn't mean like you're so fucking sexy she can't wait to rip your clothes off. I'm sorry. Every single guy on my channel would absolutely love that though. So anyway. So then Taco Thursday says, good evening, Victoria. In your opinion, what's a good way for men to indirectly approach women? So what do you mean indirectly? Taco Thursdays? Like approach them without actually approaching them? I mean, I guess what I always say is good advice is to ask for her opinion on something. To strike up a conversation by asking her opinion on something in a non yes no answer, like I learned from my social skills coach. Um, so let's say like you're by a park. You could just be like, you know, where's the best place to tan in this park or something? Anything. Ask her opinion on something. That's a good way to strike up a real conversation, get into it, and then you can ask her out. But it's good to have a little banter first. I mean, maybe it could be really whatever in the sense of asking her opinion on whatever. So, oh wow, we got a super chat. Thank you so much, Curves Riv. He says, "What is more important, looks or body game?" By the way, you are awesome. Thanks. You really help us men understand the female brain. Thank you so much, Curves. So now, question: wouldn't looks and body game be pretty much the same? Because like, are you talking about like your face versus your body, or are you talking about your looks versus your game? Or is it just like you're kind of like physically symmetrical, you got the jawline, you got the hunter eyes, but you have a bad body? Or you have just like a great body, but your looks are like not that great? I'll just go with that and you correct me if I'm wrong, okay? So I would say it's better if you have like facial beauty than a good body. I will say you will get more options with just like a really beautiful face than a really sexy body. Let me know if that's what you were thinking of, Curves Riv, but I think most women would agree because a lot of women they don't really care so much like if the guy's skinny or the guy's even like thick or the guy's got a dad bod. But if he's got like a really great face, he got that jawline. Not even the jawline is so important, but you will see that. And like I was reading a romance novel today, and it's all about that jaw. But there's lots of guys I think who are attractive without like a jawline or whatever. But yeah, facial beauty I'd say is more important than like muscles, if that's what you're talking about. Let me see. Face or the body? Okay, you clarified. I'll say face curves. What do you think? So then, so Dickie Mo says, if a girl purposely bends down in a provocative way and she turns around to see if you're looking, do I ignore her or stare back? I would say something witty, but I'm not a comedian. Okay, Dickie Mo, you got like ding, 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 ding. You got multiple errors in this question. Okay, first one is I'm seeing a bit of the male overperception bias again. If a girl purposely bends down in a provocative way and turns around to see if you're looking, I mean, this is like something straight out of an Archie comic. Okay, like what girl actually does this? I mean, it's just like a joke. It's like out of Legally Blonde, a bend and snap. Do girls actually do this? It's a little bit heavy handed. It's possible, but it's unlikely. Okay, so that's the first thing. I mean, she probably just bent down. I mean, unless she's like a stripper or something, I wouldn't read too much into this bending down. However, let's just assume she's so attracted to you that she has to make it that obvious. First of all, girls don't usually make it that obvious. Okay, they don't need to bend down, stick out their ass. This is like a male fantasy. Most girls, they'll just look. They'll just literally like look for like a second. You guys probably won't even know. Okay, but yeah. I mean, the typical move female dating coaches tell girls is like look up, look down for a second, and then like look back up. It's so subtle. They're not gonna like demean themselves to be like, I'm gonna bend down, I'm gonna snap, and I'm gonna like stare back. That's just way too over top. This is like a burlesque star or something. So I just don't believe it. However, once again, let's just say she did it. Again, here's the next error. I would say something witty, but I'm not a comedian. Like guys, they always be thinking that they have to just entertain. It's like they have to jester max. They have to clown max or whatever. No, you don't. You don't have to say something witty. You don't need some like, hey, did you fall from heaven because you're an angel or whatever. You don't need some bizarre pickup line to start a conversation. I mean, if she's that interested in you, that she's literally sticking her ass in your face and then staring you straight in the face, which is like something a porn star would like have in her script that she has to do, okay, then she's not going to care what you say. You could just walk over and be like, hey, I'm Dickie Mo. And she's going to be like, oh, hey. Okay, so you never have to say something witty. You never have to act like a comedian. You just have to go up and introduce yourself. Hey, I'm Dickie. Can I buy you a drink? Hey, I'm Dickie. What's your name? That's enough. That's enough. Okay. So, let's see. Nate says, this is true. I used to work with a girl and all the guys would flirt with her, so she started ignoring them. They thought she was stuck up. For sure. You kind of got to like tone it down. Otherwise, it just gets out of control. Okay? Lots of girls have to tone it down. They have to dim their shine. They have to just flatline because they're too attractive. And everyone becomes obsessed and they go mad, basically. So, Mex Drago says, do women get scared when things are getting really heavy? I feel my ex sabotaged our relationship. She said I might be the one. And then everything went to the bad on the 7th month. I kind of feel like this is more of a myth. Like, oh, I was scared and that's why I broke up with you. What happened on the 7th month? Like, was it really true that everything was going fantastic? Did you guys get in a fight? Did an issue come up? Just tell me what happened, Mex. Jean-Francois says, what's the best show you recommend describing the female gaze? Well, guys, you're in luck because I literally just wrote today the 10 female gaze fallacies or fantasies. I haven't decided which yet, but I have succinctly written down the female gaze themes that are the most important that can be seen in like rom-coms, erotic stories, romance novels, movies. So yeah, this is going to help, I think. But what is the best show? I don't know, because it's like there's elements in all these shows. Like I just read a romance novel today. I thought it was pretty good actually, but the elements of the female gaze were so strong. It's called it was about yeah, it's called the Never King. It's about Peter Pan retelling where the lost boys were all like very hot. And it's a reverse harem. So anyway, Good Day says, I think this is where being vulnerable can be integrated. If you're vulnerable, then not a threat, right? Okay, I'm sorry, Good Day. I forgot what I was referring to. So then Dickie Mo says, I don't get much looks from girls that I know of, but I definitely do get stares from gay guys. I'm not attracted to guys. I don't know how to interpret this. Dickie Mo. I feel like you want me to say, like, I think you know how to interpret this. Because I think you know how you want to interpret this. So, do you just want me to, like, help you believe this? I don't know. But, Nate Talk says, does Steve have friends? If so, ask them honestly about what's weird about his behavior and see what they say. Oh, that's a really good suggestion, Nate. I like that. One thing I did recently is I sent like a Google feedback form, like a Google form out, and I asked for feedback to my friends and family on my behavior. And I loved I loved what I learned. It was so satisfying, and I wish I could do it, like, after every interaction. So, um, that's a possibility as well. So Skinner Farm says, "I always look at someone in the eyes when I first see them or talk to them. I'm sorry if that makes me wrong." Doesn't make you wrong at all. Zen McMillan says, why do women roll their eyes when I look at them sometimes? They might be getting like that kind of, you know, hunger, I want to have sex with you vibe, and it can be a bit annoying because it's like, oh my God, like seriously, you're like staring at me like you want to have sex with me, like see me as a person. I mean, that's kind of like the typical attitude. So it can be kind of annoying because it's like, dude, I'm just like sitting here trying to enjoy my day, and you're making it all about sex because the way you're looking at me is just like, wow, I see an attractive female with a pussy and breasts. Like, I love it so much. That's kind of what women are thinking, I'm saying. Like, in their head, they're just like, oh my God. Like, why do men? Why? Why are they like this? Why are they so obsessed with sex? Why can't they look at people as human beings? Like, it's annoying. So that can be why they're rolling their eyes. So, let's see. Good advice, Nate. So, Damon Smith says, "Hi, is it the jawline or eyes? What's more important? What did girls notice first?" They don't really break it down like that, but if it had to be one or the other, I would say like the jawline is kind of like more stands out to them. Oh, Pro One the other says, "I kicked her to the curb because of oppression coming off her enmeshment with her 25 to 30-year-old sons. They banned me from the home and family events. She said I should fix it. They didn't want me to." Oh, wow. Oh my God. Wow, that's intense, Pro One. Well, sounds like you're better off without her. I hope you find someone new. How are you feeling about that? Paul says, "That hunger looked wrecked me in high school. It was mental torture. I quit and started working and gigging on weekends. Quickly had my first sexual relationship as a result of just being myself on drums." Nice, Paul. Yep. Women love a drummer. Women love a musician. Good day says, "I think we guys don't realize that it's about competing against other guys, and think, why would she choose me over someone else?" Interesting, interesting. Good day. Yeah. Yeah, no, I think that sounds like a very common, like, male mentality, yeah. Like, it reminds me of the obsession with, virginity. It's like, "Oh, I'm competing with, like, multiple guys if she's promiscuous, and why would she choose me over them?" Typical mentality. Um, Paul says, "I want that listening audience," says, "Make a vid on it, please, please, please." Okay, okay. Shazad says, "I didn't ask any controversial questions, just asked her about the place." Hmm, okay. Interesting, Shazad. So Daniel says, "Why would a girl keep photos of her ex-boyfriend when she has a new boyfriend?" Well, I think that's pretty normal. I mean, people can be sentimental and they don't want to like destroy any trace of like their past history. I don't know. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. So Abraham says, "Something I recommend to you is that you dare to meet new people, not just women. It has helped me a lot to overcome my anxiety to approach people who attract me. Talk to people in your day-to-day receptionist, valet, parking, your gym acquaintance, the train, and also dare not only to receive, but also to be generous and to give to others. Give to your peers, live, help where you can, ask people about their day, and remember important facts about them. I have realized that interacting with people charges you with energy, and if you find someone you are attracted to, the approach is much easier. See this as warming up before training." I think that's fantastic advice. I fucking love it. Very. I like what you said. Being generous. If there's like one thing I could like impart to men, honestly, it would probably be that. And I'm not saying, give women all your money and like make if they ask you for like some Prada bag, like give it to them. No, but I'm saying like it's that mentality. It's if you don't have it, it's hard to even attract women at all. It's kind of that old school gentlemanly gender rolled masculine behavior that women are very attracted to. Obviously, there's a lot of nuance here because, like, I don't want you guys to get used. However, if you don't have that, it's like you kind of have nothing in a woman's eyes. I don't know. Like, if my boyfriend didn't have that, I could not be with him. Like, there's a guy I really liked, and he did not have that, and I just knew, like, I can never be with this guy. Never, never, never. So it's fantastic advice. And also just like warming up by talking to people. Yeah, like I told you guys probably before, I had this rejection club, and that's what we would do. Different challenges, talking to strangers. Very important. And it does help you to warm up for bigger and better things. It's very important to start small like that. Like to start with a smile, then a compliment, then a conversation. Like so good. All right. Well, guys, I have reached the end of the questions. If you guys want, I can go through some of the female gaze fallacies. You're not going to like it, I don't think, because you guys are going to be shocked and you're just going to be like, this is why we have to go our own way and whatever. Let me know if you guys want to hear that or if you have any more questions, or we could just be done for the night. All right. All right, guys, you will be getting a special sneak peek. All right. Paul says, I still haven't gone after anyone since my wife passed March 2021. When I do that, I go to dance on my own or to get up in a jam. I get attention, but I never say to talk with them more than a minute. I want that list. Paul, are you just not ready? Or why only 1 minute? Why not 2? Why not 3? Is it too soon? I'm curious. All right, guys. Okay. Shall we go on to... Okay, curves, ribs, you got it. Give me 1 second. Oh, yeah. Men have... All right, guys. Here are the 10 female gaze fallacies. I'm calling them fallacies because this is what women fantasize about. This is what women want. These are the keys that are subconsciously driving them. However, are they realistic? No. Do men fit this criteria? No. Can men kind of like fit this criteria perfectly? No. However, you'll hear about it in like romance novels, these elements. And can men play upon these? Yes. Do you have to be like a king among men? Do you have to be a CEO? Do you have to be Tom Brady? No. However, let's just get into it. Okay. All right. So, number 1, female gaze fallacy. I call it the most beautiful girl in the world fallacy. Okay, guys, this one's going to shock you. Women want to be, in your eyes, the most beautiful girl in the world. That would be their ideal. Okay? If you're in a relationship with a girl, let's say, and you're like, you're the most beautiful girl in this room, they're not going to like that because they don't want to be the most beautiful girl in the room. They want to be to you somehow, some way, you find their unique beauty like beyond compare. Like out of all the women in the world, you'd pick them. That gets to the core of the female gaze. That's what they want deeply. That's what like you'll see in romance novels, rom-coms. It's like a guy is suddenly just obsessed with their unique beauty. Okay? Most beautiful girl in the world. And you'll see a lot of times like men getting into you'll be like, "Oh, you trapped me. You tricked me because like I said you're pretty and that wasn't good enough for you or something." Yeah, because they want to be the most beautiful girl in the world. That's deep down what they want. Okay? And yeah, you're going to say, "Oh, but that's impossible," or whatever. Okay, fine. But that's what they want. This is the female gaze, that they will find a man who finds them the most beautiful girl in the world. All right? That's the first female gaze fallacy. It's the fantasy. I mean, let's think of the reverse. I feel like men they have to be a little more realistic when it comes to this kind of stuff. But maybe it's like the best guy she's ever slept with or something. They want that. Maybe they know they're not. They crave that, right? Okay. So Mr. Applewine says, yeah, but at what point is that just attention seeking slash validation seeking? Because that is a thing too, especially when you are not in a relationship. Yeah, Mr. Applewine, brace yourself because you're gonna be, totally black pilled or red pilled if you're not already, or just MGTOW by the end of this list. Okay, yeah, they're attention seeking, they're validation seeking. Yeah, women like attention. Women need attention, and you're gonna see that in the rest of the fallacies. Okay, so get used to that. So then Darius says, "Hey, I really want to know if it's possible to get my talking stage back." All right, should I go into the second female gaze fantasy or should I? All right, thanks, Brandon. All right, let's go into the second female gaze fallacy, okay? If you guys want. All right, let me know if you want me to go into the second or just answer more questions. Just say yes or no. All right. All right, let's go to number two. All right. Number two is called the glass slipper fallacy. Okay. You know how in Cinderella, the guy basically had his pick of any woman in the land, and he went through every single woman in the land trying to slip her on their feet, right? The glass slipper fallacy is basically that women want a guy who has options, who has agency, who is able to pick and choose women. Unfortunately, that's not the reality for most guys, right? But in order for a woman to find a guy like hot and sexy, she wants to know that he had options, that he had his pick. It's a fallacy, right? Because like most guys don't have that. However, that's important to women. If you just like basically tell a woman like, "Yeah, I'm desperate, I had to settle for you." It's not sexy at all. It's not a turn off at all. They want to know like they got like a high value guy who picked her because he wanted to pick her. So this is very important to the female gaze. So, I mean, think of how you can apply this. You kind of maybe don't want to let her know that, like, well, you were there. You know what I'm saying? JA, thank you so much. I will answer your super chat because you super chatted me. And I appreciate that. You said, can a woman sense that a guy thinks she's hot as fuck? Some women can, some women can't. Okay. Some women, like, for example, my mom, okay? Let's bring my mom into this. She was hot when she was younger, and she's wonderful looking now, okay? But she had like tons of guys after her, is what I'm saying. And she never knew. She never had like one clue. She was very like clueless like that. Okay. Could I sense that a guy thinks I'm hot? Probably, because it's not like I'm gonna be like oblivious, like, oh, no guy would ever think that. Okay, so some women can, some women can't. It depends. How savvy is she? How sexually empowered is she? How used to she is guys thinking she's hot? You know what I'm saying? How used to it is she with guys giving her attention? You know, JA? It really depends because some women can be quite clueless. Some women don't understand men at all, and they're just like, "What? He thinks I'm hot? No, he's into me. He would want to have sex with me? No, that's crazy. He doesn't see me that way." I'm like, "You're an idiot. You're very dumb. You are dumb because of course he wants to have sex with you. He's desperate to have sex or whatever." So yeah. Dev says, so then what about all the men who don't have multiple women and can't take their pick? We just add a permanent disadvantage? Please be real with us. Here's the thing, Dev. Women assume you can take your pick. Okay? Women don't know a lot about men. They don't know this about men. They project a hyper masculine image even onto beta guys who don't have their pick or whatever. So just don't let it be known that you can't take your pick because they're going to assume, oh, he could have got a lot of girls. Women assume that about guys. They don't know. Okay? So you're not at a permanent disadvantage because they're not going to know this. Most girls are not going to know this. Okay? So then Brendan says, if you have a preference for curvy BBW women, is this something you should put in your online dating profile? You know what? I would say something like instead of just saying like, I mean, yeah, you can, but you could also just say something like, I just have always loved curves. I absolutely love curves. BBW, well, whatever. I mean, I guess your way's fine. But I was just thinking you could say something more like, because you don't want to make it seem like it's kind of like you're fetish or whatever and you're fetishizing them. But you could just say something like, I love all types of women, and if you're curvy, like all the better because, well, maybe that kind of exclude. Do you like thin girls or thin girls too? Or do you just really only want to date curvy women? Yeah, so maybe just put your preference. But maybe you could just state it in a way that's not like curvy BBW women only, but I don't know. Maybe that's like, I don't know. I guess I'm not sure. Because if that's really your preference, maybe just state it. I don't really like BBW friendly because that makes it seem like kind of like, I won't insult you. I won't treat you like trash. You know what I mean? So I would just say something more like positive about them. Like, anyway. Brandon W says, curvy women, please apply. I like that. I like that, Brandon. Maybe you could just even give a little more deal. Like, I've just always loved a curvy woman. And I think it's sad that in this society they're often discriminated against because I think you guys are the most hot, sexy, gorgeous, beautiful woman out there. I don't know, just make the women feel a little more comfortable. Like, oh, I'm not gonna be fetishized. This guy's just a lover of women, lover of curves. I like it. I like the sex positivity. It's kind of how I would feel, but I don't know. Um, Dungeon says Rubenesque or Zaftig are maybe better euphemisms. I don't know, because there's a wide range of Kirby, and a girl could consider herself Kirby without being Zaftig or Rubenesque, which seems a bit even on the larger side. So, all right. So should I go to the third fallacy? Let me know if I should go to the third female gaze fallacy. All right. All right, guys, let's go to the third fallacy. You're not going to like this one. The king among men fallacy. I think the red pill has prepared you for this one. Powerful status. Dangerous. Power player. Women like that. I think we know that, right? But it's a big one. It's like for them to get fucking sexually turned on, they want to see you as some kind of power player. And no, you don't have to be CEO. But they want to see you as kind of like important, powerful, dangerous in some way. It could even be like just you're good at your job. Like even that little bit could be like a turn on. You're good at what you do. You've gained some kind of like minor status. Just even that little minor stuff is a turn on. Do you know what I mean? The king among men fallacy. They want to feel that. They want to feel they're with a guy who's like dangerous, powerful, got some status. And you don't have to take it to the extreme. You can just play on these things in little ways. All right? Next fallacy, guys. Number 4. I didn't come up with a good name for this. Well, it's the enthralled with her personality fallacy. Okay? They want to feel like you're enthralled with their personality, not just their breasts, not just their butt, not just the pussy or whatever, okay? They want to feel you're enthralled with their soul, their personality. There's something about it. You're drawn to them. And I say this is a fallacy because, like, how many guys are actually, stopping a woman on the street because there's something about her personality that expressed? Not a lot. However, that's what women want. That's why I give you guys the advice to say something like, there's something about you. It's like there's something about your personality, your aesthetic, your style is just emanating, and I'm getting the sense of your like soul, your personality. That's what women want. Okay? Is it realistic? Who knows? Because guys like, sports and video games, and not many girls like that kind of stuff. Some do, for sure. But it's like that's what the female gaze, like they're turned on by that. It's like, this guy sees me. This guy gets me. This guy isn't like other guys. He's not just like obsessed with like, oh, you are a nice, attractive woman. I would like to, experiment with whatever. No. Okay. Taco Thursdays. Is it bad? I think every single one of these is achievable. Fantastic. All right, guys. Next. Yeah, Lucky Prime says fallacy means mistaken belief. So these aren't true. They're true in the sense that women want it, but they're not true in the sense that the men they're dating can like be this for them. I mean, this is like a rare man who can take all these to the extreme and truly be this. However, that's why I'm saying you guys can play on this in little ways. I mean, can you be a king among men? I mean, they'd be like super fucking turned on if you were. But you can be a king among men in little ways. Do you know what I'm saying? Now, next one, guys. Number 5, the champion fallacy. They want you to be able to physically and mentally outcompete other guys. That's hot. That's fucking hot. Okay? Physically and mentally outcompete other guys. Champion fallacy. That's like turning me on just thinking about it. All right. Number 6, guys. I'm calling it the karmic lust fantasy. Karmic lust. That's basically they want a guy to feel a strange kind of like lust, passionate obsession with him sexually that they can't explain. You will see this in all romance novels, okay? That is huge. The guy feels like this overwhelming sexual desire and lust that he can't quite explain. Because he's like, oh, I've had so many other girls and they're all like so sexy, but there's something about you. There's something that just makes me want to fuck you and keep doing it. And I don't know what it is. Maybe we're tied like to each other through like the sands of time and destiny. Do you know what I'm saying? Okay. You will notice that. You will notice that. Give me like one show, give me one TV show, give me one romance novel that doesn't have that. All right. Next one, guys. You ready for number 7? The leader of men fallacy. Guys. All right. This one is, I was thinking of calling this like the middle manager fantasy because it's like they want to see a guy being able to give other guys orders. Okay? It turns them on to see a guy being able to manage other guys. Okay? Like if a guy has like a job where he bosses around other guys, basically, and I'm not saying you have to do it in a bossy way, but just kind of like a leader way, that's fucking attractive to girls. And it kind of relates to like domination too. Because it's like if he can manage other guys, he can manage her. He can dominate her. He can give her orders. He can take calm leadership control. That's sexy. All right. Number 8 is, I haven't found a good name for this one yet, but it's like the fallacy of in life, the true meaning of his life comes from his family. That's very attractive to girls because it's like her children and her like ultimately mean the most to him. That's the most important thing in his life. That's fucking crack to the female mind. All right. Number 9, the soul of a poet fantasy. They wanted to have the soul of a poet. That's in all these romance novels when you see his dark, tortured past. And then number 10, this is the most controversial one of all, guys. It's the owner and owned fallacy. In other words, they want to be disciplined, possessed, and controlled. And this is something, guys, they can only get from abusive guys. Because most men are never going to do that. But that is something that I should not have said, but I will say. Please don't do anything with that one. Just think about it. That's all. Okay? This is the female gaze. This is what turns women on. Hitting on these little keys of the piano. Soft, loud, intense, quiet. You can, Mr. Applewine says, you can role play though. Indeed, you can role play. And it will fucking turn her on. All right, guys. So what do you guys think of the 10 fallacies? Nate talks, if not, this is bestseller written all over it. Thank you, Nate. That's very nice of you to say. Nagayan says, we really need an independent video on this. I missed number 4 too. Okay. Yeah, I got to make a video on this. Jordan says, all these sound like Tyler Durden. Indeed. Indeed. Nagayan says, can you cut the minute, 60-minute, 70 segment and upload that video later? I'll try to do that, yeah. Micah Diamond says, go through all of them. It's good to know what's going on in their head. Lucky Prime, I wish I was writing this down. Shivansh says, what was the last one again? Shivansh? I should not repeat that last one. Lucky Prime, thanks for sharing the Marcelo. Thanks, Lucky Prime. Marcelo, yeah, I love how this woman explained women's mind. Thank you, Marcelo. Don Giovanni, I have noticed if timed right, girls love playful homework assignments. Intriguing. Don, what do you mean? Jared Rogero says, how do you portray these in a first impression? Great question, Jared. That would be a good video. Some of these are portrayed in a first impression, but yeah, I'd have to break that down. Abraham says, could you share the list in the chats? We have them. Yeah, I'm gonna make a standalone video about this. I'm gonna try at least. And Paul says, I was CEO of a carrier 0308. Being in charge and confident as I was operating my biz attracted several beautiful women when I would take a break. One said, you must be important. You have 3 phones. Lol. That's what I'm talking about, Paul. Indeed. Dorian says, I missed the last one. All right, guys, the last one, I'm only going to say it one more time. The owner and owned fallacy. Basically, that means discipline, possession, control. Do I need to elaborate on that? Raven Bentley says, explain number 9 in more detail. Like the soul of a poet one, it's kind of like, let's say the guy was a musician. That's a good example of soul of a poet. It'd be fucking a big turn on. Especially when combined with female gaze fantasies / fallacies. I see, Don Giovanni. All right, guys. So you guys got the the preview of the video. All right, guys. So I gotta go now. But if you guys have any other questions, quickly, just let me know, and then I'll go. Micah Diamond says, "Yeah, if a guy acted that one out, he would come off as creepy. The ultimate sin, being creepy." JA, thank you so much. He says, I think I give off number 6 energy. They like it, but I don't know if I want to make a move. So I kind of feel like I string it along. Let's see what number 6 was. Overcome with lust fallacy. The karmic lust fallacy. So you give off karmic lust fallacy. I like that. That's what my boyfriend does too. He really is good at the karmic lust. He's very good at that. He just makes me feel like he's so attracted, and he's not attracted to any other girl like this because he's just literally obsessed. And you don't know if you want to make a move? Well, that's up to you, JA. Kind of feel like I string them along. Fine, string them along. That's great. Good for you. Don't do anything you don't want to do, JA. You deserve boundaries and consent and respect and all that. Shivansh says, I had a female friend who always tried to dig traumas from the past. It is kind of similar to what you said about girls, like a guy with a dark past. Exactly, Shivansh. Exactly. Making sense now? All right, guys, I will go. Thank you guys so much. Thank you to everyone who super chatted me. JA, thank you very much. Curves, thank you very much. And there's Barack Obama, thank you so much. Let's see if I didn't skip anyone. JA. All right, guys. Goodbye.